Hello everyone, welcome to Friend and Fun. In this video, we'll be creating cool navigation menu with slider using Vue.js. So this is the final result. So when I click on this React, as you can see, we'll be having a cool slider here. So we'll recreate this completely using Vue.js. So I'm running Vue.js localhost server here, and I have created a project using Vue CLI and removed the components from the boilerplate code. Okay, and inside the index.html I have added the font awesome CDN here. Okay, so let's get started now. So inside the components I'll be creating a single component, that is navbar.view. Okay, so before proceeding, let's add some styles. So these are some global styles. So I'm just using random Google font, and for the body I'm applying a Roboto font here. So inside the view component we'll be creating a view template first, and so first let's write a data property. So it should return an object. So this object will contain few items here. Links. So these are the links. We'll be using the for loop, for loop, and render this to the template. And we'll be having the slider position, which is set to 0, and the selected element width. So this is used to calculate the element width here. So when I click on the React, as you can see, the slider width is equal to the React navbar width, nav item width. Okay, when I click on the JavaScript, it is the same width here. Fine, and we'll set it 0. Next will be a selected index. So inside the links we'll be having an object. So we'll be having 6 objects with an ID. So let's give it an ID of 1, and icon. So these are the font awesome classes to render the icons. So fi-react, and for the text I'll be using React here. Let me duplicate this 6 times. Okay, so let's change the second one, and this will be Angular, and this will be Vue. Similarly HTML5 for the HTML, and for the CSS3-alt for CSS3, and similarly for JavaScript. So fi-js, and I'll quickly change the IDs also. So 5, 3, 2, and 1. So let's first render this. So we'll be creating a UL with class of menu, and inside this we'll be having a div with a class of menu indicator. And we'll be having a list items here, menu-item, and inside this we'll be having a link, and let's give it a class of menu-link. Okay, so here we'll be having the icon, that is the font awesome icon. So I class will be menu icon, and we'll be having a span which contains the text here, nav text. Okay, so first let's enter this component to the view. So I'll just import navbar from dot slash component slash navbar, and I'm going to register this navbar, and finally we'll render the navbar. So it is imported twice. Okay, so we are having nav text. Let's make it dynamic. So on the list item, I'll be using v for link in links, and the key will be link.id, and we'll render the icons here. So I'll use class binding. Class will be link.icon, and for the text link.text. Okay, so we are having the icon as well as the text here. Next, let's add some styling. So inside the style, so first let's create some CSS vars here. Active color, so this is the color we'll be giving for the active item as well as the slider. And link text color, so this is the default color for the link text, F1 FAEE. And for the menu background, so menu background color 1D3557, and active background color, so this is for the link 132238. So first we'll target the body inside the app.view. So I'm just making the HTML, and body, set the height to 100%, and I'll display it as flex, and justify content to center, align items to center. Okay, so that the menu is in the center of the page. Next, let's target the menu. So menu is the UL item, so we are targeting the UL here. We'll get rid of the padding, default padding and margin. Set the position to relative. The reason I'm setting the position relative is because I want the slider to be positioned absolute and move when the user clicks on the particular link. So first we'll set the background color for the UL. So I'm using var ---- menu background color. Okay. Next we'll display it as d:\inf, display inline flex, and add some border radius. Okay, and we'll remove the list style type. Next we'll target the li, that is the menu item, menu hyphen item. So all I'm doing is I'm just displaying it as inline flex. Okay, next we'll target the anchor, that is the menu hyphen link. We'll add some padding on top and bottom 0.75 rems and left and right 1 rem. I'll display it as inline flex and justify content to center, align items to center. Okay, we don't need justify content center here. So let's give the color. So var hyphen hyphen link text color. Okay, so we'll get rid of the underline there. So text decoration set to none. Next we'll target the icon, that is a font awesome icon. So I'm just using icon here, dot menu hyphen icon. So we are binding classes dynamically using colon class, and we are having a menu icon, that is a default class here, menu icon. So I'm targeting the menu icon, and let's give it a height of 1.5 rems and width of 1.5 rem. Add some border 1 pixel solid. Okay, so we want the icon to be centered, so we can just add justify content center, align items center, and we'll display it as inline flex. Okay, we'll get rid of this border now. Cool. And let's add some margin towards the right, 0.2 rems. Next we'll target the indicator, that is the slider. So dot menu hyphen indicator, and we'll position this as absolute. Let's give it a height of 0.25 rems, and because it is positioned absolute, we can set the bottom to 0 and the left will be 0. And let's give it a margin of auto. For now I'm just giving a width so that it is visible, but we'll control the width as well as the left property using view. Transition all is 0.5 seconds. And let's add the background color. So background color will be var active color. Okay, so this is the slider. Now let's add the JavaScript part. So inside the data, sorry, we have done with the data, so let's add the methods as well as the computed property. Okay, so inside the methods we'll be having a slider indicator is a function which receives the ID, that is each link is having an ID. As you can see inside the data we are having an ID, so this will be received when user clicks on that particular li. Okay, so let's console log this, and let's add the slider indicator here. So inside the li we'll just add a click event. So at click you can use slider indicator and pass the link.id. Okay, so let's console log this. So when I click on JavaScript, I'm having the value 6 here. Similarly, when I click on Vue, it is 3, Angular is 2, and React is 1. Okay. So first, we need a ref element for the li. So when user clicks on this ref, then we can use this ref and calculate the elements width and position. Okay. So to create a dynamic ref, we need to use :ref on the li, and I'm just giving a menu hyphen item underscore plus link.id. Okay, so which generates the random refs elements. Okay, so when I console.log this $refs, as you can see, we are having an array of list items here, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, now we need to find a way where the user clicks on the particular ref element. So to get that, I'll be creating a variable let el, so that is the element we want to get from the refs. $refs of menu hyphen item. So I'm using backticks here because I want to interpret a JavaScript expression inside this. Okay, now if I console.log el, so this is the ref element of the particular element. Okay, so this is the li. We'll be having an array. So if I do of 0, then we'll directly get the element. So when I click on JavaScript, as you can see, I'm having the li directly. Similarly, when I click on HTML, I'm targeting the li directly. Now I can compute the offset properties on this li item. So instead of console.log, what we need to do is this dot slider position. So we want to calculate the slider position. So el dot offset left. So we are calculating the offset left on the element which is clicked. So if I console.log this dot slider position, and when I click on React, as you can see, the slider position is 0, and similarly when I click on Vue, it is 214, Angular is 100. So this is a dynamic value, offset position. Okay, next we need to update the selected element width also. So to calculate the width, I'm just using the el dot offset left. Instead of offset left, we'll be using offset width here, so which gives the width of the particular element user clicked. And also we need to update the selected index, that will be the id which the user clicked here. Now if I console.log this dot selected index and this dot selected element width, and if I click on JavaScript, as you can see, the element is 6, the id is 6, and the width is 133. Similarly, the CSS width is 98 and it is 5. Okay, now we need to compute the values. So inside the computed property, I'm just creating two variables, two properties here, that is position to move. So this decides the position of the element, that is the slider position. Okay, so this dot slider position plus pixels. So I'm just returning the pixel value of the slider position. Okay, similarly slider width will be return this dot slider element width plus pixel. Now I can directly use these values inside the template with a style binding. Okay, so let's go to the menu indicator and we'll add the style binding here, :style, and we want the left value. So left value should be dynamic, that is the position to move, as well as the width here. So width will be slider width. Okay, so initially the slider width is 0, that is the reason we are not seeing the width. So when I click on view, as you can see, the slider is moving accordingly. And the final thing is we need to add the active class for the anchor. So to add the active class, we'll make use of the class binding here on the anchor element, and the class binding will be link.id. if the link.id is equal to the selected index, then we'll add the active class, if not, null. Okay, so let me refresh, let me check here. Okay, so active class is available, but I forgot to write styles, I think so. Okay, so I forgot to write the active class. So here menu hyphen link colon hover and dot menu hyphen link dot active. So when there is an hover as well as the active class, we want the color to be active color. The text color will be active color and the background color will be active, sorry, this should be active background color. Okay, so as you can see, these are not rounded, so we can avoid that using overflow property on the menu. We'll set the overflow to hidden. Okay, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please do watch other videos on my channel. Please share and subscribe. We'll meet again in an exciting tutorial. Take care.